All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and CAD a phone case. This one should fit an iPhone 16, but you can adjust the dimensions as shown. All right, so in this one, we're going to go ahead and make a phone case, and we'll go ahead and start with our first sketch. Our main dimensions are 7160 and 14760, and then we'll do an offset. Here's the offset. The offset's 1.8 with fillets of 10 millimeters. So we'll just go ahead and start that on the new sketch. So we'll go to new design. Click. Oh, we also have to make sure we're in millimeters, right? So go to documents and settings by clicking on this arrow here. Change to millimeters. Now we can create sketch. I'm going to select the XY plane. Before we've done line command and rectangles, but for this one I want to do a center rectangle. That way the center of the rectangle is glued to the origin. And the origin, of course, is right in the middle of where this dot is. So click on that. And I don't remember my dimensions, so 71 is my width, 71.6. 71.6 millimeters. My height, 147.60. And then I'm going to do my fillet command. So go to modify, fillet. And these were 10 millimeters. And I'm going to do, I put 100, let me fix that. Fillet. 10. And you could actually just click two different corners and then fillet all of them as well. Once I got the base outline set, then I'm going to do an offset command. So under modify, click on offset. I don't remember the dimension. Let me double check that. 1.8. And you know what? I want to offset it on the outside. So I want it to come out this way. Let me go back to that. I made a mistake. Offset. Dimension. Negative 1.8. Okay. Once we got that going, we can finish sketch and then extrude. Make sure you extrude both the main part and the offset part. You know what? I don't remember the dimension. Let me check that. Finish sketch here. 9 millimeters. So extrude 9 millimeters. And then we have the base of that phone case. From here, what we do is we're going to create a shell command like I mentioned before. The shell command is going to take this solid block and it's going to turn it into like a box. So all we do is under modify, we click on shell, and if you highlight over the shell command, you'll see offsets the walls of a solid body to create a hollow cavity of walls. So that's what we're going to do. And then we click, you know what, I need to check the dimension of that. And that one is also 1.8. Whole shell command, 1.8 millimeters. That's it. You don't have to mess with any of the settings. And then you should have a hollow case of your phone case. The next step is start putting the holes. We're going to start with the bottom. So when I create a sketch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click Create Sketch and select the bottom of that phone case. And now I'm going to be drawing on that bottom. And for this one, you will be using a slot command, and this one will be a center to center slot. And I don't really care about my dimensions too much. I just want to draw the slots, and then I could dimension afterwards. And the way you create slots is you select 2 points, 1, 2, and then you draw the thickness of that slot. And then from there, what we'll do is we'll do a collinear constraint. Where is it? Right here. On this collinear constraint, what it does, you saw that it realigns those. It realigns those lines. So I click on here. I click collinear. Boom. I messed up a little bit. I don't know what happened with that one, so I'm going to delete it. Let me try again. Slot command. Slot, 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 slot. Oh, I'm doing a collinear constraint. Collinear. This one to that one. That one to that one. All right. Another thing we do is I need to make sure that this guy is in the middle. Right? How do I do that? Well, y'all been doing construction lines, right? So we click on construction and look at this. As soon as I hover the mouse over this, I'm going to click on the midpoint. And then I select, see how it hovers over and then the midpoint's right there? So if it's on the midpoint of both lines, watch what's going to happen. I'm going to add one more constraint. It's called a perpendicular constraint. It's like a corner, and a corner makes a 90-degree angle. So if I click on this line and this line, it's going to straighten them out. So that's how I know that one's in the middle. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use an equal constraint, and I want to equal this one and this one. That way, these two lines, look how they're the same size, right? Now, all I need to do is just dimension them. So click on dimension. I don't remember the dimension for these lines. Let me check that. 16 and 5, and then a 6 between. So dimension 16, 5, and then this one to this one, 6. And it should be even. But there's one more constraint. It's not in the middle here. I need to make sure it's in the middle. How do I do that? Well, I could draw another line from here to here and then do the midpoint like I did before, midpoint and midpoint, and then it'll move to that midpoint, which I should have just done from the beginning, but that's fine. Now it looks like it's dimension, but the thickness is not. The radius is 0.25, and this one, the radius is 5. So dimensioning this radius at 5, that's too big. 3. Did I read that wrong? Oh, the diameter was 5. And this the diameter. Okay. Yeah, I did read that wrong. So that means that the radius is 0.25 and the radius of this is 1.25. And then I'll also use an equal constraint for this radius and this radius because I like using equal constraints. And you'll notice they're all solid. I can't move them around. We're good. Finish sketch. And then we extrude cut. We're extruding the thickness of it, which I believe was negative 1.8. Yeah, 1.8. And then we have our hole. Next thing, we're going to pretty much do the same thing for the power button, right? Click on Create Sketch. I'm going to select the side, the right side. Do a slot command. This one, the radius is 2. The length, 12. And it's not in the middle, right? So how do I get it in the middle? I could do a construction line, like I said, from here to here, and then do midpoint, this construction line and this construction line, and now it's in the middle. And then I just need one more dimension. Where does the button start? It's roughly about 20 millimeters. And there's my power button hole. Extrude cut, negative 1.8. I feel like it's a little bit off, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do the volume buttons. I'm just going to make one big slot. Radius 0.25. You know what? I'm going to make this a little bit smaller too. The length 20. I'm also draw a construction line across. If you forget to make it a construction, you could just click on the line and then hit X on the keyboard and that'll convert it. Do the midpoint again. And then I'm going to dimension this to the top 20 as well. By this time it becomes habit. Boom, negative 1.8. Done. What's left? I need to make the lip. The lip's pretty simple. The lip's pretty simple. So we're going to just put an offset off of this, but I need to select the edge as my face because that's where it's going to start. So I click Create Sketch and I click that face. So I'm not clicking this part, right? I'm not clicking that. I'm clicking the edge of that box or the face of that box. And then from there, I'm going to do an offset and I'm going to select the inner part and I'm going to bring it in 1 millimeter. Finish sketch, extrude, select both of them, right? And I'm just going to extrude that 1 millimeter. And then we have that nice little lip. We forgot one thing, our camera hole. That's no problem. We can add that now. Create sketch. Click on here. And then I'll just make a rectangle. I don't remember the dimension of that. Let me check. Inspect. 20. So just dimension this 20. And then fillet. They're all 5 millimeters. I'm nice and happy. It's not quite done yet because it needs to be locked in. That dimension from this edge to this edge is going to be 5. And then this to this part will also be 5. I feel like it's a little bit off. Let me make it 8. There. Then extrude cut. You could change distance to all, and it'll cut a hole the way through. And you could actually go back and edit your holes to make them bigger. So if that hole's not big enough, this is the sketch for that face. You can actually come in here, and one thing you can do is like, you know what, instead of typing 20, I can click on this dimension and see how it says dimension 33? It's going to copy whatever that dimension is. So if I change this dimension to 25, it'll do that. And I could probably do the same thing to this, these two, and then this will be my main dimension. Instead of 8, I could put 7 and adjust that. And it'll automatically move your hole. We'll go ahead and save. Phone case. And your phone case is pretty much done. You can just edit dimensions to match your phone, and you should be good to go.